Majesty. Welcome back to another episode of the Royal Reset podcast. I am so happy to see you. Look at you, Your Majesty. You're looking gorgeous. You're looking good. Like, what happened this week? Tell me, Your Majesty, how was your week? Because, I mean, the glow is glowing. Tell me everything. Go. Your Majesty, that sounds amazing. I am so glad you had such a great week. And if you didn't have a good week, let's talk about it. Let's get into the nitty gritty, Your Majesty. As far as me, whoo, Chile. First, go ahead, prop me up in your kitchen, in your laundry room, in your living room, wherever it is you need to be in order to do your chores and reset for the week ahead. I hope you'll allow me the next 45 to an hour to inspire and motivate you and help you move into this new week with fire. Yes, because you deserve, Your Majesty, to slay. Yes, yes. So, me, how was my week? My week was fantastic. So you know how I'm doing 75 hard, right? Well, I'm doing phase one. I finished 75 hard. I'm doing phase one of 75 hard right now. Today is day 23. Okay. And so I've been looking at it's not a physical fitness challenge. Okay. It's a mental health challenge, right? Okay. So I have been looking at my body and I've been like, I think I think I'm losing a little something, something. I'm thinking I'm slimmer. And so I've been looking like, I think, but I'm not sure because I didn't step on a scale when I started. Purposefully, purposefully, right? Because this is not a physical fitness challenge. It is a mental health challenge. However, this week, people have started to notice and people have started complimenting me. And I'm like, oh, so then if other people are noticing it too, then that means I'm not crazy. That means I'm not body dysmorphia, nothing, no. It means I'm looking good. I'm looking delicious. For example, on Monday, I was at work, right? And my work has a cafe on campus. And so I ran out of lettuce for my salads that I've been having for lunch. This week, I decided to have taco salads for lunch. And so, no big deal. That just means I can go down to the cafe and get some lettuce from the salad bar. And so that's what I did. And usually, if I'm going down to the cafe, I have like a whole bunch of Premier protein shakes on my desk. But they have these protein shakes. I don't know the name of them, but the vanilla tastes like ice cream, yo. And it's a protein shake. So, like, whenever I'm going to the cafe, I might as well get me a little, ice cream protein shake, right? So I grab some lettuce and the protein shake and I sit them on the counter, right? And so the cash register guy, who's a chef, but he works the register when every now and then, he looks at me and he looks down at my lettuce and my protein shake and he's like, "We're still doing this?" And I was like, "Yeah." Yeah, homie, I guess. Yeah, we're still out here doing this. And he was like, he said, "Well, it shows. You look good." Oh my god, 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 oh my god. So yeah, that was Monday. People are starting to notice. Had more compliments on Friday throughout the week. And yeah. I feel good, feel great. I did look up the benefits of taking a cold shower because let me tell you, Your Majesty, something happened in the last 2 weeks. When I first started phase one and these 5-minute cold showers, I was like, what the is this? I did not like it, was annoyed. But now I don't know if it's because it's summertime. The cold showers are becoming refreshing. I'm low key loving the cold. Loving? Jasmine? Really? Yeah, I'm loving the cold showers. I'm loving them. Oh my God. So, what are the benefits of cold showers? Multiple physical, mental, and uh, uh, well, yeah, physical and mental uh, benefits. Physical being that it does something with your cells that helps rejuvenate and revitalize them, even more so than coffee. So it's a great boost in the morning to wake you up. So you don't need coffee, but we're still going to drink coffee because we're not heathens. Um, it They say that cold water is better for your skin, and so it'll help your skin glow and shine more. I don't know about all that. I love me a nice hot shower for getting clean. If it ain't hot, are you clean? Oh no. Mental effects. It's supposed to be good for anxiety. It's supposed to be good for depression. However, the reason why the creator of 75 Hard implemented this extra step for phase one is because it's uncomfortable. And the whole goal of 75 Hard is creating habits that at the forefront are uncomfortable, but are actually good for you. And the whole goal of phase one through phase four, after you finish 75 Hard, is to get you to sustain these habits that you have created beyond the 75-day challenge, right? So it's uncomfortable. And if you do your 5 minute cold shower in the morning, you conquer that 5 minute cold shower. Then throughout your day, whenever something else uncomfortable or whenever anxiety or depression come knocking at your door, you are better prepared to tackle it and overcome it because you've already overcome something as uncomfortable and jarring as taking a 5 minute cold shower. As soon as I read that, I was like, I am completely reading into the program. Like, I am literally being led into this program step by step because at first it was uncomfortable, but now I'm loving it. I'm loving it. And now I want to take my showers in the morning because I started taking warm showers in the morning and then taking a cold shower at night before bed. Nah, I went back to taking my cold shower in the morning so that again, just as I say with the breathe with me videos when we're deep breathing for 3 minutes, when you tackle these things in the morning, they just make you feel like a boss, bad queen that you are. And so when things arise, because they do, negative Nancy's come, Debbie Downers come, setbacks happen throughout your day, you are better prepared to tackle them. Mm, So, yes, I am excited. Day 23, phase one. And yeah, things are going well. Things are going really well. So, I jumped right in to asking you how your week went because I mean, you took me off guard, Your Majesty. But how about your goals? Because last week we spoke about some goals that you had for the week, yes. And we also set some goals for you, some homework, so to speak, to help you turn your insecurities into affirmations, the Ayana Venzant homework assignment. Did you do it? Tell me, Your Majesty. I want to know how it went this week. Did you reach your goals? Did you have some setbacks? Did you have some pivots that you needed to make? Tell me everything and go. I'm so proud of you. I am so proud of you. If no one's told you yet, let me tell you how proud I am of you. We've been having these conversations now for the last 13 weeks, technically 14. And you have every week done something or another to reach closer to your goals and your dreams. Do you know how big of a feat that is? Do you know how powerful you are? There are so many people who want, who need, who have goals and aspirations, but are too afraid or too complacent to actually take the steps needed to reach those goals and those dreams. And look at you. Look at how far you've come in just the 13, 14 weeks that we've been speaking. I am so proud of the progress that you are making. I'm so proud of the glow that I'm seeing. I'm so happy for you, Your Majesty. You are killing it. Even if you didn't reach your goal this week, the fact that you are working towards it and that you are thinking through all the issues that arise and you're pivoting when you need to pivot and jumping over hurdles when you need to jump over hurdles. Mm, yes, yes, Your Majesty. You are killing the game, and I cannot wait to see how much further you soar. Look at you. Look at you. I'm so proud of you. Alrighty, Your Majesty. So let's talk about this week's 4B Queen of the Week. Without further ado, we're just going to jump right into it. It's going to be Sierra. Sierra Wilson. Because the way someone called it, I saw someone on social media call it her the Sierra Prayer LLC. The way that she is just spreading her blessings around, Queen. Queen, I remember the year that I graduated from college, she dropped her revenge album, is what I like to call it, because it started with Dance Like We're Making Love, and that's where she came out with the revenge body, and she was just like, yeah, this album is all about me. I just went through a heartbreak, but I'm looking good, I'm feeling good, and we gonna keep this thing going, right? But then she had a song on that album called I Bet, right? And, it's a beautiful song. And it talks about, cheating and, how, you know, she bets that future, because let's just put it out there. She bets that future will start loving her as soon as she finds something better and starts moving on. And at the end of the song, it used to always break my heart. She would say, at the end of the song, she says, right now it's killing me because now I have to find someone else when all I wanted was you. That broke my heart every single time I watched the music video, every single time I heard the song, because it was on my playlist that year. Definitely. Song was fire, bumping, right? And so I'm sad for Sierra, and I just want her to find her love. And then she did. And then she did. Russell Wilson. Yes, 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 yes. Whatever the prayer was, I'm so happy, so proud of her. But it's not just the fact that she went through this heartbreak and she shared it with us and was so emotional and raw with it. And we saw it, we could feel it through her music. Then she found her joy, her happiness. And then the next album was fire, fire. That's where we got Level Up. That's where we got set, like on my set, like, oh my gosh, really good album, right? But she's sharing her blessings with others. Well, we lost Colby and Gianna, rest in peace, and everyone else who was on the helicopter that day. She and Lala were there for Vanessa every single day, taking Vanessa out to the mountains, taking Vanessa out to the spa, just like surrounding her and showing her and giving her love and support in such a difficult time, right? And now we see her left and right hooking people up. Like, who knows how many people her and Russell have hooked up behind the scenes that we don't even know about. We're just now starting to tune in. But let me, because I don't know these guys' names. The guys don't really matter. It's all about the queens. It's all about the queens in this conversation, right? Yeah. So, oh, that's not the right password. I got the guys' names written down. So, Sierra and Russell Wilson were responsible for DK Metcalf and Normani getting engaged. Apparently, they introduced the two, right? And then just this past week, Coco and Donovan Mitchell got engaged. Both R&B queens, by the way, Normani and Coco, right? Coco Jones. And apparently, Sierra and Russell helped plan the engagement. Yo. And then it's rumored, kind of confirmed, but not really because they haven't came out and said it. But Megan Thee Stallion and Klay Thompson are rumored to be together right now. And all I'm saying is Megan Thee Stallion and Sierra were just together at Coachella this year. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. All these ballers with these black queens in music. I don't know. I just want to give it up to Sierra. She's such a diva. Yes, Your Majesty. Thank you so much for, if anything, just spreading your love and your joy throughout the world and reminding us that it's never too late to find your happiness. And such a huge setback like that, as is heartbreak after not only being engaged but also having someone's child, and then becoming what, a single mother. She said she would sit on her bed and just be like, I can't believe I'm a single mother now. Like, what just happened to where she is now? And not only is she happy dropping babies left and right, but she's spreading that love with other queens. We love a queen's queen. We love a queen's queen. So this week's 4B Queen of the Week is Sierra, and I'm so happy for you and your babies and your man, and I'm so thankful that you are spreading that love to others. Apparently, Vanessa's even got a new boo. That's a rumor, though. I don't know if it's confirmed. I feel like I heard something about her being. I don't want to spread that if it's not true, but if it is, yes, queen, you deserve happiness. If it's not, you still deserve happiness. So, yes, that's the 4B Queen of the Week. Now, let's talk about what's entertaining me. And I think you know what's entertaining me because we spoke about it at length last week. What's entertaining me is still Transfusion series. It's a book series. If you missed last week's conversation, and it's a 12-book series. So right now I'm finishing up book 7. So I've still got 5 books to go. So it'll take maybe another 2 weeks for me to wrap that up. I'm at 27 books read so far for the year, still way off from the goal of 115. But the way I have been adding books to my Kindle, as soon as I'm done with Transfusion, oh yes, oh yes, we will run through that list very quickly. I believe, I predict that I'm going to surpass my goal of 115 books this year. It's probably going to be 120. I did last year. Last year the goal was 105 books, and I read 115. Nope, I read 117. So we shall see. We shall see. Yeah, so Transfusion is the book that still got me in a chokehold. Where are we now? I can't say without giving it away. Just know it's good. It's juicy, juicy, juicy good. We talked last week about Amelia, the Renesmee of the situation, because Transfusion Afterlife, the whole series, is a growner, sexier, gothic version of Twilight. So very, 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 very deep gothic. There's no sparkle, right? But I used Twilight characters in order to explain what's going on, the basic principles of the story. Because again, there's so many characters, so many plot points. These books, Afterlife was 12-book series where each book was about 400 pages. Transfusion is a 12-book series where each book has been about 3 to 350 pages. So there's so much happening, so much going on. I'm just giving you the basic tenets so that you can understand, um, or I gave you the basic tenets so that you can understand last week based off of what we already know from Twilight, right? So we spoke about Amelia, the Renesmee of the situation, and her insecurities, and versus, truth, fact, and how her insecurities were getting in the way of her happiness, right? And boy, when she finally found out that she was the problem, I'm proud of her for being like, okay, I'm sorry. I may have overreacted. I may have overreacted a little bit, girl, a little bit. But uh, yeah, that's all I can tell you because I don't want to give away too much of the story. You just have to read it. If you're down with the vampires and the demons and the angels and the Game of Thrones style world building where everything is gory and goth. I know I don't look like it, but like I'll read anything. Okay? And Afterlife was so good that I was like, I must read Transfusion. And yeah, it's good. It's good. When she found out that her insecurities were the problem, she fessed up. She said she's sorry. So yes, and now hopefully, I mean, we still got 5 more books to go, so hopefully we can move forward, but we still have 5 more books to go. So we shall see. We shall see. But that is what is entertaining me still this week. Probably going to be entertaining me next week and the week after that. But, I digress. I digress. I have been at the movies though, and that is why we are here today. The main meat and potatoes of today's conversation. We're going to talk Superman, the new Superman movie. Now, however, there will be no spoilers. I will be describing one scene in the movie, but I will not be going into detail of the context of that scene, just because I don't want to spoil it. It just came out this weekend. So we'll discuss it, but yeah, so this is what we do every week. We get together, we talk about movies, music, pop culture, or books, and the lessons about life and inspiration and motivation that we can take from these works of fiction and nonfiction. And so let's talk Superman. I absolutely loved the movie. I give it a 9 out of 10. However, I need to make a point that I did miss the first 15 minutes of my showing. I could not get out of bed quick enough. I rolled over. It was 11:07, and I bought my ticket for 11:30, knowing that commercials are like 30 minutes now before the movie starts. So I had till 12 to get there. I don't think I got out of bed till 11:25, and then by the time I was ready, it was 11:55. So yeah, and then I need to make sure I get a little something, something. I can't get much because 75 hard, but I need to make sure I get something to drink on while I'm watching a movie. And so I stopped, got my drink, and then I went to my seat. So by the time I sat down, it was like 11:15ish or 12:15ish. So I missed about 15 minutes of the movie. But what I did see, I absolutely enjoyed. It was funny. It had heart. There was action. There was plot, because a lot of the times, especially these DC movies, be missing the plot. It had plot this time. I loved it. The acting was okay, okay, okay. Not the best. But it's a DC movie, so hopes aren't always high when it comes to DC. I'm a Marvel girl. Anyways, so it was a really good movie. I really enjoyed it, really appreciated it. And the scene that I want to speak about today is pretty much describing the heart of the movie. So the detail that I will give you is, you can see it from the trailer, is that pretty much the world has come together against Superman, right? Making all these accusations and assumptions of who he is and why he is on Earth, right? So Superman is with his father in Smallville, and they're sitting on the porch, and they're discussing um, where Superman is right now in life. Can't, where Clark is in life right now, right? And his father is saying he looks not like himself, and his father is saying he looks not like himself, and he says, "Well, it's because I thought I was this person, but now everyone is telling me this is who I am, and now I don't know who I am." And his father says something so profound. He says that it is not the job of your family or your friends or the people around you to tell you who you are. It is your actions and your decisions that make up who you are. And the good part about that is that you get to choose which actions you take. You get to choose which decisions you make. So you decide ultimately who you are and who you want to be. No one else has that power but you. And I just thought that, I was like, as soon as he said that, I was like, oh, when I talk to the queens tomorrow, that's exactly what we'll discuss. That right there. That right there. Yes. So let's talk about it, because so often we either have family members who have expectations of us to study a certain major in college, to be a certain um, profession, to follow a certain religion. We have friends who goad us and who push us into doing things the way they do things, or having habits that they have, pushing their habits off on us. Or we just work in certain situations or go to school with certain people who tell us who they think, who they believe we should be. And it puts a lot of pressure on us, especially as women, because we're such people pleasers. I'm even more so of a people pleaser because trauma, but women in general, we're such people pleasers. And so we want to please our family, we want to please our friends, and we want to be liked and to meet society's expectations of us. That is our general programming, right? It takes a lot of work to begin to realize and believe that this is our life and we decide who we are and what we want to be. And until we decide that for ourselves, we will never know true happiness and joy. Mm. 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 Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I'll give you an example of myself. Um, so you know I grew up homeless, right? Yes. And I grew up homeless with my mom and my brother. We spoke about how I took my brother in and became his legal guardian and finished raising him from 14 on, right? Okay. That was 3, 4 weeks ago. Yes. Okay. So let's talk about my mom, right? Growing up, I was her best friend, her parent, her confidant, her babysitter, her laundry person, her uh, personal shopper, everything but her child, right? And as I grew up, I started to realize that one, being homeless is not normal. Oh, we slept in a storage closet last night. No one else is talking about sleeping in storage closets. No one else is talking about sleeping in a different place every single night. No one else is talking about, living in hotels. They talk about going to hotels for a brief stay, but not living in hotels or shelters, right? And the more I learned that this was not right, the more I decided that this wasn't the life that I wanted for myself. So as I grew up in high school and started to work towards something, at the time I didn't know what, but I started to work towards finding my own footing and my own path. I started working my first job at the age of 14, making my own money at the age of 14, right? And then come November of my junior year of high school, or my junior year of my senior year of high school, I was like, you know what? I'm going to go to college. That is the only way. Because if I go to college, we spoke about this. If I go to college, then I can sleep in the dorms and I won't be homeless anymore. Making these decisions, lo and behold, turned my mom completely against me because all of a sudden I'm too good to live with her. I'm too good to take care of her. I'm too good to do all these things that I had spent the last 17 years of my life doing for her. And because I was slowly and surely pushing away and forging my own path, that's when the insults started. That's when it became, I am bipolar. I need help. I am a danger to society. When I would go out and work my behind off after school on the weekends at Knott's Berry Farm, Soak City, and collect a check, a measly check, because again, I'm a high school student. They don't let you work a full 40-hour week. They only let you work maybe 20 hours a week, and Knott's Berry Farm is too big of a company to let you even get to 20. So it was usually just hours on Saturday and Sunday, 8 hours Saturday, 8 hours Sunday. So it was $16 check, 16-hour check times two, 32 hours on a check. Not much, $8 an hour, I believe I was making. Um, when I would get these checks, they were hers. She would say, these are mine because you're living in my hotel room. And it got to the point where if I said no, then she would guilt me into Oh, well, why would you say that? Why wouldn't you help me? Why wouldn't you help your brother? Look at your brother. Are you going to let him starve? It became my fault why we were in the predicament that we were in. And over time, I began to believe that, yeah, I was bipolar. There was something mentally wrong with me. Yeah, I am the problem. I am the reason why we're like this. And I am a bad person because I don't want to give everything that I spent so hard to earn away to her just for her to blow it, right? She would take my checks and use them for important stuff, but the money she got, she would just blow through, right? So it was mental abuse, it was financial abuse, it was emotional abuse, and I didn't know it at the time, okay? And so I started to believe that the things she was saying about me were true, were real. It took, again, it took outside influence for me to realize that she was trying to manipulate me to stay with her and to continue to help her or do the work for her, right? I had mentors all throughout high school. Shout out to Mrs. Priscilla. Shout out to Elizabeth O'Donnell. Shout out to Lisa Araguin. Shout out to Adrienne Ralph. Um, all these queens surrounded me and upheld me and reminded me that I was not the problem. I'm not a bad person. I am working with what I have and I am okay. It is okay for me to forge my own path and to find my own way out of this situation. Not only is it okay, but it is necessary, right? But even still, once I got into Chapman, once I moved into the dorms, once I started, going through college and classes and all that came with that, I was still racked with guilt. I still felt like I was a bad person because I was okay. I had the cafeteria. I finally had 3 meals allotted every single day. 3 meals every day, a roof over my head, a nice warm bed to sleep in. Instead of carrying around all of my clothes and everything that I owned in trash bags, which is what we did, I now had drawers and dressers and a closet where I can hang things up and put things away. And my brother was still, and my mom was still homeless. I felt like a horrible person because it felt like I had left them behind. It wasn't until when did it start to change and flip for me? Ooh, college was difficult. Um, then I took my brother in, and even after college, it was still difficult. It wasn't until I found myself homeless again by myself in 2020, sleeping in a car, or after the car, sleeping in a church parking lot by myself for 5 weeks, that I realized that I'm not the problem. I'm not the problem. And it's okay that I do the work and put in the work to find better and to be better. Because if not, this cycle that my mom has been in since I was a child, so this coming up on 33-year cycle that she's been going through will continue with me. And I refuse to continue that cycle. I was the child. I did not ask to grow up homeless. I did not ask to grow up poor. I did not ask to become her scapegoat. I should have been protected. I should have had a roof. I should have had the things that I needed to grow and succeed in this world. It wasn't until I found myself homeless by myself, sleeping in a car and then sleeping in a church parking lot, when I realized that I'm not the problem. I didn't ask to grow up homeless. I didn't ask to uh, grow up poor. I didn't ask to be her scapegoat. In fact, it was her job to be the parent. It was her job to take care of me, and she failed at that. And so it was okay, and I forgave myself for seeking better for myself, because she was supposed to protect me and give me the tools needed for me to succeed and grow into a healthy human being. And because she didn't do that for me, I stepped up and did it for myself. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. It does not make me a bad guy. I am not, I mean, I do not have bipolar. I'm not bipolar. And I do not have mental issues because I decide to take care of myself when my mother was lacking. But I do have trauma that I'm still working through. I'm only human. Um, and so it took that rock bottom, hitting rock bottom pretty much, and seeing my worst fear come to life for me to understand, oh, I've had this all wrong. I've had this all wrong. That is when my spiritual journey started. That is where I started becoming closer with God. That is where um, I set a goal, started a business and set a goal to make enough money to have my own place, or not my own place, to have a room for rent within 6 weeks. And I did it in 5. As soon as I realized, as soon as that clicked, and I remember it clearly, I was sleeping in the car at the time. It was the middle of the night, like 2 a.m. And I was just looking around like, how did I get here? How did I get here? And it just clicked. It was like God spoke to me or something. It just clicked. I have been letting my mother's words of who she was, because who she wanted me to be, and who she told me I was when I wasn't being who she wanted me to be. I had let that permeate my brain so much so that I was living in constant fear. I was constantly depressed, constantly anxious, not taking care of myself. And of course, all that will lead to me being homeless again by myself. It took that realization for me to realize, along with, again, my mentors who I love dearly, who I still talk to regularly, um, to come to the realization that I deserve better and it is okay for me to work towards better. And so it was at that moment where I decided I wanted to become closer to God. I wanted to start a spiritual journey. I wanted to start doing shadow work and digging through my trauma and reframing messages that my mom had buried inside of me. I wanted them uncovered, reframed, so that I can move on with my life. And that is what I have done ever since that night in that bar in 2020. It took me 5 weeks to start a business, go back to work, and make enough money to find a room for rent in a beautiful, beautiful condo, which was actually cat corner to the apartment that I had gotten evicted from, right? So, God. Um, and I've been going to my church. I've been growing steadily and slowly and over time with therapy and with my mentor's help and with journaling and meditation and spiritual practices and going to church. I have slowly started to uproot those. So I say all that to say that I hope it doesn't take a rock. I hope it doesn't take a rock bottom moment for you to reach that realization for yourself. I hope this episode reaches you before it gets that hard, that deep, before it gets that bad. Um, Other people's opinions and decisions on who and what you should be do not matter. They don't make you who you are. It's your actions and your decisions that make you the queen that you are. What do you want to do? Only you know what you are capable of. Only you know how much you have overcome. Even when it comes to seeking advice, people only give you advice based off of what they can handle. So because I grew up homeless, I'm going to tell you, if you are strapped for cash, I'm going to tell you to pull all the way back, dollar store shopping for food, for everything. Get on your ramen noodle game. I'm going to tell you not to spend any money, to save it all, and only spend money. If you have to spend money, spend it at the dollar store. If you need to get gas, get the cheapest gas from Arco. Okay. I'm going to tell you to pull all the way back because I lived like that growing up on the bare minimum, the low value ish or whatever, because that's what I needed to do in order to survive. I've lived like that. So I can do that. To you, that might sound like some peasantry that you are not, that might say, well, that might sound, and it's okay, way below you, way below your efforts and who you are and who you see yourself as. So you have to find something that works for you. You decide who you are based off of your actions and your decisions. And if you're looking at your actions and your decisions and you're not liking them and you're seeing that these patterns of what you're doing are based off of what other people have told you who you are or told you about yourself, then you can always, always change your actions and make new decisions to become the person that you were always meant to be. You have the power. You have the right. No one else, unless you give that to them. And I hope this message today reminds you that you don't have to give that to them. You don't have to give away your power. You can keep that and you can make the decisions to make the decisions for yourself, to make the choices for yourself, to make the actions, to do the actions, to create the actions that you want to take in order to achieve the goals that you want to achieve. You have power to be and do absolutely anything. It's already within you, Your Majesty. All you have to do is reach out and grab it. And don't ever, ever, ever let anyone make you feel bad about choosing yourself and doing what is best for you. Because at the end of the day, if you're not taking care of yourself and doing what you were put on this earth to do, you will never truly be happy. You will never truly have joy. And there will be so many people who were supposed to benefit from the goals and the gifts that you were put on this earth to share, who will be missing something because of it. So always remember, you have the power. When I say you are magnificent, you are powerful, you are purposeful, that is what I mean by powerful. You have the power to do whatever it is you want to do, and it all starts up here. We've been speaking a lot lately about the books I've been reading. I encourage you, highly encourage you to pick up a copy of Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, to pick up a copy of Psycho Cybernetics. I do not know the author's name, but it's Psycho Cybernetics. Pick up a copy of these two books. The way that my mind is shifting and my life is already improving because I've been implementing the tenets that I've been reading about in these two books, I will forever be grateful. I will forever be grateful. Pick up a copy. Those three books. That is your goal for next week. I said three because I also want you to look into A Purpose Driven Life by Rick Warren. Purpose Driven Life, Think and Grow Rich, Psycho Cybernetics. I want you to look those three books up. I want you to choose which one you're going to start with and buy it, or start setting aside money so that you can buy it. That is your goal for the next week, because it is time for us to start realizing that we are the ones in control here. We are the queens. We run our queendom, right? And we decide who it is we are and what it is we want to do. Nobody else. Yes? Alrighty, Your Majesty. That is your goal for next week. And on top of that, I want to hear what goals you have for yourself next week. You slayed this week. Tell me, what are the plans for this week? How do you plan on slaying as your badass queen self? Tell me everything. Go. Yes, Your Majesty, I hear you. Okay, so I'm going to come back next week, same time, same place, and I'm going to ask you how your plans went this week, and I want to hear that you at least went for it, knowing that you had the power to make it happen. Yes, Your Majesty? Yes. I'm gonna ask you about your goals next week. And I want to hear that you did, that you at least attempted. Yes, yes. What are my goals for next week? Next week I have a baby shower that I'm planning for work. So this is my first baby shower that I've ever planned. So really, that is just that is what I'm working towards right now. Just getting through that and putting on something special for the parents to be. And then that is my goal. So I have my final two Cowboy Carter tour dates. I know I already went to the 5 LA shows. I know. But I also have two dates coming up, the final two dates of the tour completely, in Vegas at the end of the month. I still don't have anything to wear. So my goal is to find something to wear, hopefully something that fits, because y'all remember the fiasco of me ordering two outfits that did not work out for the 5 LA shows. So I pray that I find something and that it fits and that it works, and that it keeps me as cool as possible at the end of July in Las Vegas. Ooh, Chile is gonna be hot. It's gonna be hot. But yes, those are my goals. Of course, finishing up phase one, or coming towards the end of phase one of 75 Hard Challenge. And of course, continuing to read Transfusion. Hopefully by next week, I'll be on book 10 or 11. Those are my goals. Well, it has been an honor, Your Majesty, to speak with you once again, to spend this time with you Sunday morning as you meal prep and you do your laundry and you reset for the week. Thank you so much for allowing me into your home and allowing me to inspire and motivate you. Again, my name is Queen Maree, and this has been the Royal Reset Podcast. Thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I will see you next week, same time, same place. Okay? All right, Your Majesty. Have a good week. Bye.